You ever heard that saying? Don't chase, attract. But what if I told you there is a more powerful method in order to attract more effortlessly? And we could say affirmations over and over. I don't chase, I attract. But the reason why we don't attract things into our life is because there's no space for it to come into our life. And there needs to be a releasing and a clearing in order to allow in what we are asking for. And what if the very thing that you need to let go of in order to attract more easily is blame? Now, in today's video, I want to share with you how to stop blaming and start attracting. And I started using this technique in my life, and I started to realize how much easier it has been to attract things that I've been asking for a very long time. And the crazy thing is, the reason why this one thing has to be released is because when we blame the outer world for our circumstances, we become a victim towards it. And how can we be a victim towards the circumstance that we entertain, and yet we're asking for abundance at the same time? So therefore, in today's video, let's just get into it so you can start attracting what you want by first understanding what you need to let go of. Beautiful beings, welcome back, Awaken Ones, on another episode on Embracing Ascension Series with your homegirl Brittany Fontanez. If you're new to this channel, I'm so glad to have you here, and if you've been on this journey with me so far, only love, and so glad to be on this journey with you. Who I am, I am an energetic activator. I am an actress as well, and I also render services that will be in the link of the description, where I offer tarot readings, shadow work readings, different courses, different programs for inner child. I even do Reiki as well. And I have a healing course, which I think is going to be the most powerfulest course in the world, because it will help you to understand how to digest the mind and the heart and the body and the spirit to become one, so you can understand what your purpose here is upon this planet. So go check that out, the link in the description box below. And I do have some jewelry coming out soon and a little bit more merch coming out, so stay tuned for that. But other than that, beautiful beings, don't forget to like, subscribe to this channel. I really would appreciate it. It all helps the algorithm of these type of videos to get out to the world, because I feel the world needs to hear more of this stuff. Now, let's get right into what I want to share with you today: how to stop blaming and start attracting. Like I said in the beginning of the video, we hear that saying, stop chasing and attract. Very, very true. Very, very true. But the thing is, we can repeat that affirmation over and over and over. And the reason why we don't attract things into our life is we could realize that we stop chasing things, but the energy is still residing within us. A chasing mentality. I used to be this person. I'm gonna be really honest with you guys. I always used to be a chaser. I always used to chase friends. I always used to chase the crowd. I always used to chase validation, relationships. And when I pulled all my energy back to me and stopped chasing, I still wasn't attracting what I wanted. And it was because underneath the surface, I was blaming the world for everything. And I was even including blaming myself for things. And I had to really understand, why am I making myself a victim towards circumstances? And why am I thinking like a victim towards this world? And little do we know, the very powerful thing that allows us to feel as if we have the power in our hands to receive and have everything we want, that we feel that we deserve, it first starts with taking accountability. And I know this is a word a lot of people don't like. I get it. I get it. A lot of us don't like to take accountability. We live in a world that's ruled by egoism. So the ego doesn't really like to take accountability. If anything, the ego likes instant gratification, whatever feels good, the honeymoon phase in a relationship, whatever feels good to the moment, whatever, people give to us and we don't expect to give anything in return, it just likes instant gratification. But the reason why there's so much stagnancy, the reason why there's so much blockages, one, because that's a belief, and two, it's really because we just blame things and people for why we don't get the results that we want in life. And we can't blame this world for the way that it is when we choose to entertain it. Now, for example, be vulnerable with you guys, because I'm always vulnerable. I did have a relationship that I really cared for. And she recently just left me. And don't get me wrong, I did accuse her of, cheating or seeing other people or being flirtatious and all that. And maybe that pushed her away. And I started to become very like, I started to realize how my mind was starting to pinpoint and judge. And I had to recognize I can't do this. I can't do this anymore. If I want the relationship that I divinely feel like I'm meant to have, I need to stop judging. I need to stop blaming. And I need to start taking accountability. Because it takes two people to make a relationship work. And it takes two people to make a relationship not work. So when I take accountability for my end, I take my power back and recognize where I need to change, but what do I also deserve? So at the same time, you guys, in order to attract things into your life, we have to take accountability for the things that are taking up the spaces that are meant for our desires to come in, and start recognizing why we still hold on to it. And then go about it in a way where we're blaming for the reason why this is there or this person's in my life, and complaining about it, and it's not serving you, but you're not willing to take accountability and be honest with yourself and saying, I'm not willing to let this go. And this is the reason why I'm not happy. This is the reason why I'm not getting the results that I want. It's because of, one, I'm not willing to take accountability and see what I need to do to work towards this. And two, I keep blaming the outer world or these people as if they are the problem when I'm entertaining it. So realize that you can stop chasing and start attracting, but it's very important to stop blaming to be able to attract fully, because you cannot be a victim of the circumstances that you entertain and allow into your life and say you're not getting what you deserve. Attraction is an emotional game, you guys. It's an emotional game. When we're blaming, judgment is a man-made lesson. It's man-made taught. Same thing as fear. We were taught all of these things to give our power away. Because what happens when we give our power away? We feel like we have no power. So it's a contradiction of knowing that you have the divine right to be a sovereign being, but knowing at the same time that you think you have to be a victim and don't have power, so you have to give your power away to the world and be of this world, rather than understanding that you are not of this world. You're just in this world. So the way to stop blaming and start taking accountability for your life is start recognizing, what relationships are you entertaining? Like, what friendships, you got to be honest with yourself. What do you want in life? Because that's how you take your power back, and that's how you know yourself. And that's how you're able to take accountability. What do you want in life? All right. Now you know what you want in life. What is it that has led you to where you are in life currently that is the opposite of what you want? There you go. Now, what is not serving you that's causing you to not to be able to have the things that you want? And this is the tough thing, because people, they say it's easy for them to let go, but the hardest thing, to be real honest with ourselves, is letting go of family members that aren't good for us. Letting go of friendships that aren't good for us, no matter how long lasting they are. Letting go of relationships that aren't good for us. Letting go of the way we think that's not good for us. Letting go of substances. Letting go of the way we eat. Letting go of the way we believe. Because the reason why it's so tough is because we built an identity around it, and it gave us a false sense of power. We have to understand, power doesn't reside in the ego. Power resides within the fact that you know your heart and you know yourself on an immense level, deeper than the mind. This requires you going into the depths of the ocean, not staying on the surface, boo-boo. So the way to stop blaming is start recognizing, what's the common denominator? That's always you. If relationships don't work out, if friendships are not satisfying, if your job is too much, where are you lying within that? Where in that are your actions, are your contributions to that in order for it to exist in your life? And therefore, it's going to be a tough pill to swallow, but you'll realize that don't need to blame yourself, because when you blame yourself, you become a victim. But to take accountability is to look at yourself and say, you know what? I gotta forgive myself. I gotta forgive myself for the reason why maybe I don't have this relationship, for the reason why I don't have these friendships, for the reason why I don't have the money, for the reason why I don't have that job, that position, that career, that desire, I gotta be honest with myself and take that accountability and forgive myself for entertaining these things that I know don't serve me. Now, the way to start allowing yourself to attract things in your life after you take accountability, mind blowing for me. When I took accountability for this relationship, a lot of soul family, like a lot of new friends started to come into my life. That's the crazy thing. When I got real honest about why I was jealous of certain people, is because I wasn't reflecting back to myself what I wasn't doing for me to light myself up. And now I have all these opportunities coming in for me to, I think I'm gonna have a great fucking summer this year, because I have so many events I'm gonna go to. I'm gonna have so many people I'm gonna help out. I have so many desires to go travel as well. So those are falling through, like not falling through, but they're coming in, they're flowing through. So it's like, whoa. And I recently I did plant medicine. I'm actually gonna do a video on that. It's called Combo. Whew, it's intense. People think healing is sunshine and unicorns, boo boo, but it ain't. So I'm gonna do a separate video on that later on, because since I started doing that plant medicine, I started to get more into what my soul is craving. My soul is craving to do sweat lodges, doing ayahuasca, doing these plant medicines, because I want to go on deeper levels of healing. Because the more I clear, the more I cleanse, the more I release, the more I receive, and the more I realize. So, because you can't change what you're not aware of. And once you're aware of what you need to change, then you'll be able to learn how to release that and to allow new things into your life. So, since being able to take accountability for where I am in life and for what has got me here, a lot of new things started to flow into my life. And I'm really like excited. I'm like, whoa, I've been waiting for years for these kind of opportunities, for years for these type of things to come into my life, all because I decided to let go, all because I decided to take accountability, all because I decided to let go with unconditional love, forgive myself, forgive people, forgive things, forgive the past, and really have immense gratitude for who I used to be. Because when we blame, we don't have unconditional love. We don't give gratitude. We got to give gratitude to the past version that got us here, to recognize all of this. We got to give gratitude to the people that were in our lives and the relationships that we were in, because for the time being, they needed to be there in order for us to learn and to grow and to be better versions of us. So all of this is to teach you why to stop blaming and start taking accountability, because it teaches you how to take your power back and not let anything outside of you ridicule you, make you small, make you feel like you're worthless, because you aren't. Now, I'm not saying don't grieve. I'm not saying don't feel. I'm not saying don't give yourself time to be sad, to be angry, to be upset. Give yourself that time. You deserve that. Have compassion for yourself. But when it comes to a point when you keep making yourself suffer by repeating those thoughts, repeating those patterns, repeating those habits, then you really got to sit down with yourself and start recognizing, where am I giving my power away? And why am I allowing myself to give my power away? And why am I not doing anything to change my life the way that I want to change it and the way that I want to live? And that's where the accountability comes in. And that's when you need to stop blaming. I used to be that person as a kid. I used to blame God for everything, why things wouldn't work out. I used to blame the person I was with, why it didn't work out. And then I started to realize, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm the one that I need to look at. And then when I started to do that, in the beginning, I felt like a victim. I was like, fuck, I'm a fuck up. I feel guilty. I regret shit. But now I'm starting to realize, you know what? Out of all the healing I've done, out of all the things I've learned, I started to realize this is empowerment. We need the darkness. We need those down moments. We need those times that we feel like shit to make us recognize how we need to change and what we need to change in order to allow in what we are asking for and to attract it into our lives. So since I've been doing this, you guys, a lot of good things have been happening in my life. Even though I had to let people go, I had to let things go. It was heartbreaking, but at the end of the day, when you are able to see that it was there for the time being and take accountability for the lesson that you needed to learn from them or from things, then you start realizing, okay, how can I take this to the next level to make myself better, to make myself more happy, to make myself feel like I'm more confident in my sovereignty. So other than that, you guys, that's all I wanted to share with you on how to stop blaming and start attracting. I feel this is a much more powerful technique. It's a much more very self-honest, self-evaluation technique that a lot of people find it hard to do. But I feel like it's so much more powerful than to stop chasing. Because, like I said, you could stop doing an act, but if those thoughts are still there, if those emotions are still there, then it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, you may stop doing things physically, but it's just like I still want to do it. Why? That's where you got to go into the roots and get down to where is it really coming from. Sometimes it's really coming from victimization. Sometimes it's really coming from blame and judgment. And when we could recognize this, and when we could recognize how we play a part in it, then we could recognize, okay, how can I take my power back and transform my focus into something else that's going to allow me to attract these things in, to create more space to allow the things that I'm asking for. So other than that, you guys, that's all I wanted to share with you. If you like this video, if it assisted you, hit that like button, subscribe to this channel. I would greatly appreciate it. If you feel like you want to share this video, please do so. I want to create a community on this channel to let you guys know that you are not alone, and I love being a guide on your spiritual journey. But until then, you guys, check out all my services in the description box below, and then I'll see you on the next one. Only love.